Alex Pietrzak was a 14-year-old sophomore who was tearing it up on the football field for the Nazareth Academy Roadrunners. But Alex was playing hurt. Cartilage and bone were breaking away from his knee. Alex's doctors, headed by Nikhil Verma of Midwest Orthopaedics at Rush, knew it was a situation that needed to be corrected. David Kaplan has the story.
His cartilage was peeling off in one specific area of his knee, and if we had left it alone, it really would have become a free piece, which would have caused two problems. Number one is he would have had a pothole in his knee where the cartilage was missing, and number two is he would have had this free piece floating around in his knee, which is essentially like having a marble stuck in the joint.
Dr. Verma and his team at Midwest Orthopaedics knew they were dealing with a rather unique injury, and usually when someone is as young as Alex was, losing cartilage in the knee area is very difficult to replace.
When you lose cartilage, particularly in somebody in that young age group, it's a very difficult thing to replace. So the goal here is to try to preserve his own cartilage by getting that piece to actually heal back into position.
After I first heard the news that I needed surgery, the first week after, you were kind of like, oh, why did this happen to me? Why do I have to get surgery? And then after a while, you kind of look at it as, okay, this will make me better, not only in the long term, but also in the short term, where I won't have any more pain, no more knee giving out.
There were a number of procedures that could have been used on Alex, but Dr. Verma decided to reattach the quarter-sized piece of cartilage that had broken loose from the knee joint instead of removing it completely. Dr. Verma felt that particular procedure gave Pietrzak the best chance of playing football again and letting him lead a pain-free life.
The problem with Alex is that he had an area probably about the size of a quarter where this cartilage broke away with a piece of bone underneath. So that you can imagine, instead of having this smooth gliding surface, he now had a pothole in the center area of his knee. And so the goal here is to try to take that piece and put it right back into position so that we reestablish this nice, normal, smooth gliding surface. What we were fortunate in doing for Alex is to being able to fit that piece right back into position, holding it there with a screw temporarily until the body healed it, and now he's got a normal anatomy of his knee restored back to the way that it should be.
I had osteochondritis dissecans. It was a bone fragment chip was coming off of my kneecap. So they had to go in, put artificial cartilage and a biodegradable screw in, and Dr. Verma of Midwest Orthopaedics, he put me back together very nicely.
7 years later, Alex has no lingering effects from his surgery. He's a redshirt freshman offensive lineman at Northwestern, and the prognosis is that his knee and cartilage should be stable for at least another 40 to 60 years.
We're fortunate that we've had an excellent result, and that is that we were able to get that piece to fit right back where it goes, and we were able to get it to heal by screwing it down into place.
The knee's a lot better. I mean, having the surgery really helped it because I was planning on that for a pretty long time. But having surgery, having to rehab and get back, it does take a while to get all the strength back equally in both legs. And I'm getting close to being back at full.
He's a tremendous person from a great family. He gives everything he's got from an attitude standpoint, and trying to find a way to get on the field as a young freshman who's walked on, I mean, it's a challenge.
I'm David Kaplan, Comcast Sportsnet.